Everything you thought you knew about maintaining a car around 2008, most of it will quietly destroy a modern engine today. The rules changed when engines got smaller, hotter, and computer controlled. But a lot of people are still following advice written for carburetors and oil grades that don't even exist anymore. And that's why so many cars under 100,000 miles already burn oil, stumble at idle, or get flagged with repair codes that shouldn't happen yet. At DriveWell, we've been testing what lasts and what fails across hybrids, turbo engines, and even plug-in systems. We've seen the patterns no shop manual covers anymore. 10 common myths will take out engines faster than neglect ever did, and some do it in a single oil cycle. Stick through this one. You'll learn what to stop believing and the exact habits that keep modern drivetrains healthy without wasting money or time. Myth 1 to 3, fluids and lubrication. Lies. Myth 1, the 3,000-mile oil rule. This was gospel in the 90s, but modern synthetics and high-efficiency filters made it obsolete. The real danger isn't waiting too long, it's thinking short oil cycles protect you. Direct injection engines spray fuel straight into the chamber, and that unburned mist seeps down, thickening the oil faster than old engines ever did. Instead of changing by mileage, change by condition. 5 to 7,500 miles on full synthetic, with a real analysis or at least by observing how quickly the oil darkens between changes. Too frequent changes disrupt additive balance. Too long creates varnish that sticks piston rings. Myth 2. Long warm-up idling is good for the engine. That used to apply when choke systems dumped extra fuel in cold starts. Modern engines manage air-fuel ratios digitally and reach temperature faster, while driven gently. Idling for 10 minutes coats the cylinder walls in raw fuel, washing away lubrication and fouling the rings. The right habit, idle 30 seconds in freezing weather, then drive lightly until the gauge moves. Myth 3, lifetime transmission fluid. That phrase is engineer speak for a lifetime of your warranty. Modern 8 and 10-speed automatics run higher pressures and finer passageways. They shear fluid faster than any 4-speed ever did. Fresh fluid loses its red tint once friction modifiers break down, and at that point, each shift grinds the clutch packs. Drop and refill, not just drain, around every 60,000 miles. It's a $100 service that prevents a $4,000 rebuild. All three myths come from one misunderstanding. Those old intervals assumed loose, non-computer engines that burned off contamination naturally. The tighter the tolerances, the faster debris accumulates. Outdated logic is the new form of neglect. Myth 4 to 6, fuel, coolant, and sensor neglect. Myth 4, it's fine to run below a quarter tank. Older mechanical pumps didn't care, but the high-pressure system in today's engines uses fuel itself for cooling and lubrication. When the tank runs too low, the pump starts pulling vapor pockets instead of liquid. The motor overheats and microscopic wear begins. Keep at least 1/4 tank to maintain pressure and avoid early pump failure. A 15-minute top-off beats a $700 replacement. Myth 5. Water can safely substitute for coolant in emergencies. You can limp home once, but doing it regularly corrodes aluminum, destroys water pump seals, and triggers electrolysis inside small passages. Modern coolant isn't just colored water, it's an anti-corrosive chemical tuned for mixed metal blocks. Use distilled water only for topping and never mix colors. Each formula uses different inhibitors that cancel each other out. Hard tap water or pure water alone turns your cooling system into a mineral mine. Myth 6. Any aerosol cleans a throttle body. Carb cleaner worked on cable throttles, not on electronically controlled plates coated with friction-reducing film. Harsh solvents strip that coating, and the stepper motor over-rotates trying to find idle again. Use cleaners labeled sensor-safe and never spray directly, always on a microfiber. A single wrong solvent can ruin a $300 electronic assembly in seconds. These three myths don't just cost money, they reveal how mechanical thinking lags behind modern design. Fluids used to be basic chemistry, now they're part of the electronics. The pump that cools fuel also reports temperature to the ECU. The coolant that stabilizes temperature also carries conductivity data for sensors. Treating these systems like the old days means confusing the computer that protects them. Fluids might kill the car slowly, but electronics die fast. And once they do, you're not just paying for parts, you're paying for calibration. That's the difference between preventive care and digital chaos. Myth 7 to 10, electronics and miracle fix. Myths. Myth 7, ignore the check engine light if the car runs fine. That amber glow isn't a suggestion, it's a time bomb. A weak O2 sensor or evaporative leak starts small, but the engine control module shifts fuel trims to compensate. Over time, it cooks the catalytic converter from inside out. By the time light misfires show up, you're thousands deep in repairs. Scanning early lets you reset adaptation values and stop collateral damage. Think of it this way, the light costs nothing to read, but silence costs a converter. Myth 8, spark plugs only need changing when idle gets rough. direct injection systems fire hotter, and if the gap widens past spec, ignition coils work double. That heat builds resistance until the coil cracks and drags current through connected plugs. The ECM learns those misfires, richens the mixture, and permanently shortens converter life. Check the plug interval listed for your engine code, not just mileage, and inspect at half that time. Replacing all plugs at once keeps cylinder balance tight and prevents adaptive confusion that throws phantom codes later. Myth 9. Additives fix everything. Flush chemicals promise to clean sludge, but they release clumps that circulate straight into micro-sized oil passages and VVT solenoids. What looks like free debris can block a lifter in seconds. Additives aren't bad when used for prevention, but they're not rescue tools for an engine that's already varnished. If you smell fuel and oil or see delayed pressure buildup, change the oil. Don't reach for a bottle. Mechanical contamination isn't solved by chemistry. Myth 10. Cheap brake pads save money. Budget pads crumble fast, turning metallic dust into a sandblast for ABS wheel sensors. Those sensors are sealed but not invincible. They accumulate iron fuzz that sends false readings. The ABS overreacts, pulses unevenly, and warps rotors from thermal stress. A higher grade pad with low metal count costs twice as much but lasts 4 times longer and keeps your braking electronics clean. All 4 of these myths share one root problem: short-term thinking in a long-term system. The sensors, fluids, and electronics monitor one another. Skip or cheap out on one, and the system learns bad data. That feedback loop doesn't wear out slowly, it fails suddenly. The modern maintenance code. Modern maintenance isn't about remembering mileage, it's about reading evidence. Oil life monitors, fuel trim graphs, and transmission temperature data all tell you when real stress accumulates. Stick to those indicators, not outdated stickers on your windshield. Replace calendar habits with condition-based logic. Scan for pending codes every oil cycle, keep fluid records, and learn what normal readings look like for your engine. Preventive care today means scanning, inspecting, and correcting before any warning lights exist. That's how shops keep fleet vehicles alive past 200,000 miles without a rebuild. Relearning normal matters more than loyalty to old numbers. Oil chemistry changed, sensor calibration changed, even EV systems need coolant intervals and software checks to protect inverters. Maintenance is now a data discipline, not just a wrench game. Follow DriveWell, and you'll stay ahead of the curve, avoiding $1,000 failures before they start. Up next, we're breaking down sensor lockouts and the hidden behaviors that freeze diagnostics before you ever see a warning. Stay alert, stay modern, and keep driving well.